Finance, example 1. We deal with money on a daily basis, and planning for your financial future requires mathematics. In this unit, we'll learn about savings accounts, credit card interest, planning for retirement, and taking out loans. Bottom line, from a mathematical standpoint, you need to be on top of things like order of operations, using your calculator, and solving equations. So with the solving equations, it's not real complicated what we'll have to do, but you are going to need some basic algebra skills. So those are the main tools that we'll be using. So if you're not going to use the calculator, I suggest you're really going to need to know how to use the one that you have. Another important note, except for one little chart that we're going to do with compound interest, for this entire unit, do not round until you get to the end of the calculation. Now, I know that some of you are going to ignore me on this, but that's, do that at your own peril. If you round too soon, it's going to give you what's known in the math world as the wrong answer. So we're going to start off with simple interest. Now, simple interest is the basis for many of our other formulas that we're going to use. So we need to start somewhere, right? So let's begin with principal, or the starting amount. So this is the starting amount for your account. The principal can be the starting amount for an investment or for a loan. It just depends on what end of that you are. Interest, in its most basic form, is calculated as a percentage of the principal. Now, I think it's also important to note that if you are borrowing money, okay, nobody, except for maybe your parents, just gives you money, lends you money without charging you some sort of fee for lending you money. And also, when you put money into a savings account, the bank pays you a little bit of a fee for the use of your money. Okay? So example 1, a friend asks to borrow $250 and agrees to pay you back in 3 months with a 3% one-time interest. Now, we don't see this a whole lot, but basically they're going to pay you back in interest 3% of the $250 you borrow. Now, we need to remember that you're also going to have to pay back that $250, right? But this is the fee that you're charging your friend to borrow money. So you are charging them $7.50 to borrow money. I want to also mention that on your calculator, I realize you get 7 5/10 there, but we are talking about money. And as a college student, you need to be able to communicate that correctly, and so you're going to need to add that 0 on the end because you're dealing with money. Okay, next, your parents agree to loan you $6,000 to buy a used car under the condition that you pay them back within 2 years. And they are charging you a 6% one-time interest. So how much money will you be paying in interest? So basically, your parents are charging you a fee of 6% of $6,000 for using their money. And when we multiply that out, we get $360. So I want to make a special note. In example 1, A and B, this is interest only. In other words, you are going to have to pay that money back, all of it. But this is the extra fee that you are paying to borrow that money.